Today I'll be making Paneer Tikka Masala, for which there are a lot of ingredients which I'm going to use. So let's get started with knowing the ingredients right here. I'll be using 400 grams of paneer. This is homemade paneer, the recipe of which you can find it in my other video. Around 100 to 150 grams of bell pepper, 3-colored bell pepper I'm using. That is red, green and yellow, which is diced into large pieces. I'll be using 1 onion, which I have made a puree. So this is the onion puree of medium-sized onion. Here I have 3 to 4 tablespoons of tomato puree. In the dry ingredients, I have half teaspoon of turmeric powder, or 1.5 teaspoon of Tandoori Masala powder, half teaspoon of Cumin powder, red chilli powder around 1 teaspoon. But if you don't want too spicy, then you can just add a little bit of it. I'll be using 1 teaspoon. Here I have a pinch of Garam Masala powder, a pinch of black pepper powder, Paprika around 1 teaspoon. Here I have cream. This is fresh cream, thick fresh cream, cooking cream. Lemon juice. This is around 1 teaspoon. Dry fenugreek, which is around 1 teaspoon, and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Along with that, I'll be using 2 tablespoons of oil and cilantro, a little bit of cilantro, and 1 cut into pieces green chili. 1 green chili I'll be using. A little bit of water as per the requirement in the recipe. Alright, so let's get started with the method. So first what we are going to do is we're going to add the dry ingredients in this bowl, all of it. I've added Tandoori Masala first, and then red chilli powder, now Garam Masala and black pepper powder, turmeric powder. Here I have cumin powder. If you want to add, if you like, you can also add coriander powder, but cumin powder I'm adding here, and paprika, right? And now I'm going to add to it some amount of cream, just a little bit, half of it. The rest of it I'm going to add while cooking. And lemon juice. I'm going to mix this all well. And of course salt. I'm so sorry I forgot to mention salt. Around in the whole process I'll be using 2 teaspoons of salt. So in this too I'm going to add a little bit of salt. So I'll be adding around half teaspoon of salt in this dry ingredients. I'm going to mix this well. Now add a little bit of water, just a tiny bit of water, around a tablespoon. Mix this well, and now I'm going to add my paneer to the dish. Just coat the paneer pieces with this dry, no more dry ingredients, they are wet now. With these ingredients, I'm going to coat all of them. And come back to you. If you see that the batter is less, you can add more of water and coat them well. I've added a little bit of more water to coat them well. And don't worry if a little bit of these paneer break in this process, because we are going to anyway use this spices in our dish. Now I have coated here the paneer it's all very nicely combined with it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep this aside, and I'm going to add to this spices the bell pepper. Just coat them lightly, not really, you have to, just I'm going to add them here and combine it. Now you can see this is nicely combined. So what I'm going to do is just put this back to the dish. Now this leftover, this is done right here. The bell pepper are alright, they are into spices now. Now what I'm going to do is just take one of these. I'm going to put the rest of the masala or the spices in a small bowl so that we can use it in the dish later, in the later stage. Right, this is done. Now I've finished coating on both of these, and the rest of the ingredients which I'm going to use are right there. So let's get started with the next step. In the next step, I'll be using the skewers, and here are the skewers, and I'm going to put these two in it. I'm going to put it on the fire. Let me put this on the side and add the paneer. First goes the paneer in, and one of the bell pepper. You can also add onions to it by cutting them into such large pieces. I'm going to add 2 bell pepper and 1 piece of paneer. That's what I'm going to do. Here. So this one is done. I'll just finish up with the other one, and we are going to roast them, that is on the fire. Right, I'm gonna on the tree, and these are ready. Let's just make sure that the spices are dry and they are not that wet while roasting. Through this you can get the real smell of that barbecue type, and you can actually have this just the way it is, but to make Paneer Tikka Masala I'm going to show you the gravy, otherwise you can just have this after roasting it on fire. You can see it's quite nicely done. All the ingredients are dry, and you can have it even this way, but I'm going to make curry out of it and make paneer masala. So now let me do the rest of it and I'll be back with it. Now our paneer tikkas are ready. So now let's get started with the gravy. All our ingredients are ready for the gravy right here. Alright, let's get started. Alright, the very first thing, I'm going to switch on the pan and going to add to it around 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. The oil is heated. Now I'm going to add to it, this is optional, I have not mentioned it in the ingredients, the cumin seeds. This is optional. If you want to, you can add them. I've added here, but it's not compulsory to add that. Let them pop, and then we are going to add to it our onion paste. Let's add our onion paste. let it cook till it changes its color to light golden brown. Right now this has changed its color and the oil is also coming out of the onions. That means it's quite cooked. So what we are going to do is I'm going to add to it the tomato paste, the tomato puree, and mix this well and let it cook for a minute or two. After a minute and a half, I'm going to add to it our ingredients, the dry ingredients that we had used earlier for coating the paneer and the bell pepper. So I'm going to add that leftover in it. Just add a little bit of water to let this all ingredients get in. And mix this well. After adding the spices to it, I had let it cook for around 2 minutes, and we have very good thick gravy now here. What I'm going to do next is going to add the fresh green chilies with some little bit of cilantro. So fresh green chilies get in there with a little bit of cilantro or coriander leaves, and just add them and mix them. And then I'm going to add to it salt, the remaining amount of salt. Around half a teaspoon of salt I've used, and half a teaspoon of salt I had used earlier for the paneer tikka. Now I'm going to add to it the fresh cream or the cooking cream. Just mix them well. Alright, everything is very nicely mixed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to it the main ingredient, that is the tikka that we have made. I'm going to add that. And along with that, I will be adding for the gravy little bit of water. Just a bit of water, and mix them well. And let it cook on high flame itself. I'm not going to lid that. Alright, so now I have added water to it. Everything is right here done. Last thing that I'm going to do is add to it the sugar for a little bit of sweetness in it. And I'm going to add the dry fenugreek. I'm going to add dry fenugreek, just crush them here. Right here, dry fenugreek. It gives a nice smell, and I'm going to keep it on a high flame till I get the proper consistency for my gravy to be served. So till the time you wash all your dishes, this thing is going to be done. This is enough and the gravy is done, so let's take this out. Alright, so we're going to turn this off and let's take it out in the serving dish. Right, here's the serving dish. Let's take this out and let's garnish it with cilantro. And this is done. It's lovely to eat this with Indian bread. And some people also like it with rice. I like it with Indian bread. Well, alright, so this is done. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.